Little Red Riding Hood, Part 2. So the wolf lifted the latch, and the door flew open, and without a word he jumped onto the bed, and gobbled up the poor old lady. Then he put on her clothes, and tied her nightcap over his head, got into the bed, and drew the blankets over him. All this time Redcap was gathering flowers, and when she had picked as many as she could carry, she thought of her grandmother, and hurried to the cottage. She wondered greatly to find the door open, and when she got into the room, she began to feel very ill, and exclaimed, "How sad I feel! I wish I had not come today." Then she said, "Good morning," but received no reply, so she went up to the bed, and drew back the curtains, and there lay her grandmother, as she imagined, with the cap drawn half over her eyes, and looking very fierce. "Oh, grandmother, what great ears you have," she said. "All the better to hear you with," was the reply. "And what great eyes you have." "All the better to see you with." "And what great hands you have." "All the better to touch you with." "But, grandmother, what very great teeth you have." "All the better to eat you with." And hardly were the words spoken when the wolf made a jump out of bed, and swallowed up poor Little Redcap also. As soon as the wolf had thus satisfied his hunger, he laid himself down again on the bed, and went to sleep and snored very loudly. A huntsman passing by overheard him, and said, "How loudly that old woman snores! I must see if anything is the matter." So he went into the cottage, and when he came to the bed, he saw the wolf sleeping in it. "What? Are you here, you old rascal? I have been looking for you," exclaimed he, and taking up his gun, he shot the old wolf through the head. But it is also said that the story ends in a different manner, for that one day, when Redcap was taking some presents to her grandmother, a wolf met her, and wanted to mislead her, but she went straight on, and told her grandmother that she had met a wolf, who said good day, and who looked so hungrily out of his great eyes, as if he would have eaten her up had she not been on the high road. So her grandmother said, "We will shut the door, and then he cannot get in soon after." Up came the wolf, hooted, and exclaimed, "I am Little Redcap, grandmother, I have some roast meat for you." But they kept quite quiet, and did not open the door, so the wolf, after looking several times round the house, at last jumped on the roof, thinking to wait till Redcap went home in the evening, and then to creep after her and eat her in the darkness. The old woman, however, saw what the villain intended. There stood before the door a large stone trough, and she said to Little Redcap, "Take this bucket, dear. Yesterday I boiled some meat in this water, now pour it into the stone trough." Then the wolf sniffed the smell of the meat, and his mouth watered, and he wished very much to taste. At last he stretched his neck too far over, so that he lost his balance, and fell down from the roof, right into the great trough below, and there he was drowned.